Well, Jimmy Colson, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Laura.
I'm so excited. We talk all the time because we've been working on your book, but it's kind of fun to turn the tables and make it an interview.
Most definitely. It's my first interview, so it's kind of exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time.
That's amazing. First of lots. I am sure people are going to be banging down the doors to talk to you after the book is officially live, which when this show airs, it will be live on Amazon.
Okay, so it's going to be live soon, right? The 26th, I believe, my birthday.
Yeah.
And the launch of your first book.
Yeah, so November 26th has a lot of significance. It is your birthday, your late mother's birthday, who is featured very much in the book, my 2-year anniversary of launching my first book, which changed my entire business and life, and it's Cyber Monday.
And Cyber Monday, too. This is awesome. Thank you, Laura.
Oh, my pleasure. So tell us a little bit about why you wanted to write the book at all.
Well, the reason why I wrote the book is for teens that have been through similar situations as myself. Growing up in the barrio, in the ghetto, and scrounging and not knowing where your next meal is coming from, not knowing what you needed to do to take the next step in life, if there was a next step in life. So many children that go through similar situations are borderline suicidal or suicidal. I want to be able to be there for them and let them know that, hey, you can make something of yourself no matter what your circumstances were. We can end up making a better life for ourselves. I'm living proof. I went from living on park benches to having a multi-million-dollar company. And I want them to know that with a little bit of determination and perspiration, they can do it themselves.
I love that. And yeah, if people want to get the book, it is live now. If they go to copythatpops.com/Jimmy, it'll redirect them over to Amazon. And so the book is called From the Depths, a journey from addiction, abuse, and homelessness to positively impacting the world. So for those of everyone who's listening hasn't read it yet, because it's just out today, will you give us a little bit of background on this, the rough parts of your life that you went through?
Well, so some of the rough parts started off with, in and out of different schools. Not sometimes you go a week without having electricity. Sometimes you go a week without water. So you'd have to wash yourself in restrooms or go to friends' houses. Sometimes you just have candles to light your way. You wouldn't have any electricity. So, guess what? You need to do your homework. You're doing it by candle, kind of like going back 1800 style and stuff. But,
Yeah.
it was part of life back then. So it's just part of what we expected. We didn't know any better. That's just what life was to us. You eat a piece of bread with some mustard on it. That was a meal,
So tell me a bit about your parents and why were you in the situation where food was not around, electricity was turned off?
Well, my mother started off doing drugs at a very young age. I don't know if it was before I was born or right after I was born, but my whole life was like one roller coaster of different kinds of drugs she was doing, whether it be heroin and coke, crystal meth. She did so many different things, and she mixed them all the time. So we didn't know where our next meal was coming from. Even though we were Section 8, we were on welfare, she'd sell the food stamps 2 for $1. So she'd leave us going hungry. So if we had bread, she considered that we had food in the house. So we'd have to steal our own lunch meat, or if we didn't want to go out and go steal our food, we'd end up just basically putting some mustard on bread, a little bit of sugar and some butter. That was a meal. And that's just how it was. The Mormon church really helped us a lot as young children. Deseret food, that kept us alive. Honestly, the peaches, the pears, just knowing that you had that and you didn't have to go steal. It was a beautiful thing, and it helped us out immensely.
Yeah. And what do you mean by 2 for $1? People might not be familiar with that.
2 for $1. A lot of welfare type people will sell their food stamps 2 for $1. So you give 2 food stamps for $1 cash.
Mm-hmm.
So say you get $200 in food stamps, that's $100 cash in your pocket, and that's a good fix for the drug addicts. That's enough to where they could be high for the day. So, a month's worth of food stamps could basically fuel their addiction for a day or two.
Wow. Oh, yeah. We've talked before like that. Your experience growing up is like the complete opposite of mine. So it's been a really interesting experience for me even to really be involved and edit the book and format it and interview you to get more details on the different parts, because the book is very raw and real and authentic. You lay it all out there.
Oh, I did, man. I laid out my most embarrassing moments. I laid out illegal stuff I did, the drugs I did myself. We can all come back from that. I was a nightclub promoter in Las Vegas. So, you're out with famous debutantes or famous actors, actresses, musicians. They're all doing cocaine in front of you, doing everything like that. And it was either you joined the party or you're a narc or they kicked you out. And that was part of the way that I made a living. I had to work 3 jobs. I worked for a company called Dirt Buster cleaning toilets after hours. I started off in my industry making $7 an hour, being called the monkey in the back, and worked it to where our company this year will bill out over $12 million. And I started it off after lawyers and signage. I had $11,700 to start a prosthetic company.
Wow. And you borrowed that from somebody, right?
Yes, I did. I borrowed it from a friend, and they didn't really believe that I was going to take it to the next level. So they said, hey, just give us our money back and you can have your whole company. I'd given up half of my company at the get-go. I offered it to a few people at $30,000 a piece to have half of my company.
Wow.
And now the company's worth probably over $10 million.
Wow. I wish I knew back then. I would have made that investment.
A lot of people would have, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But they would have had to believe in me. And I don't know if I really had the belief in myself at that time either.
Yeah.
With each day, you have to try to grow as a person. The person I was then when I started the company is not the person I am today. The person I am today is not going to be who I'm going to be next year. You have to have your growth game has to be strong. You always have to be trying to be a better version of yourself. When you open your eyes in the morning, try to be a better version of the person that closed them the night before. If you do that, then each and every day you're a better person. And that's all we can ask for from anyone. And you can't expect it from anyone, but if people do live their life that way, I'm living proof that you can do amazing things. Now, what we're able to do with the money that we've assembled is, say we had this one 17-year-old cancer patient came in. She had no money. Her family made too much money to be able to be on Medicaid, but not enough to afford insurance.
Right.
So I got a hold of some of my friends from SPS. These are different prosthetic componentry companies, SPS, Oster, and Phil Hour. And they ended up pitching in parts. We pitched in materials, labor, and did all the visits and everything. And then that young lady was able to walk again. We were able to give her an above-knee amputee that was valued over $30,000 for free to be able to get that young lady up walking again, because we wanted to see her while she was fighting that battle with cancer, be able to do something with her life.
Wow. So above-knee amputee. So her leg had to be amputated above the knee.
Correct. From the cancer.
Wow. And so the device that you guys put together and made custom for her would have cost her family over $30,000.
Correct.
Wow.
It would, and I got everyone to donate the componentry.
Right.
Then we donated our man hours, blood, sweat, and tears. And then we'll stand by this young lady's side for the rest of her life.
Yeah, because she's going to continue to grow and need it to be a change, an alter.
Yeah, she starts gaining her weight back when she's done with her chemo. We've done that for other people. We've done it for children. I've had physicians give me a call and say, hey, Jimmy, this person has no insurance. What can we do for them? We can't do it for everyone. Right. You know what I mean? Right. If you did, then you would go out of business. But we choose as many people that we can to be able to help, each individual the best we can, give them the best possible outcomes. And we have amputees on staff at work too. So they've been through it. One of the gentlemen I work with, my lead prosthetist, his name's Jeff Eschenberg. He lost his leg in a tractor accident back in Michigan when he was 12 years old. Wow. His uncle was driving a tractor and it ripped his leg off. Oh. And now he's able to help all the people in the community. Another gentleman named Eric Iredam that works for us, he's the amputee advocate in Las Vegas. He helps every amputee that's amputated walk through every single step of the way to get back on their feet. Even if they're not patients of ours, I've given him the go-ahead. You go out there and you help these people. If they want to be seen by another company, they still need someone to guide them through their journey. Mm-hmm. And he's ranked #1 in the world in the paraskeleton. And both those gentlemen are on the Las Vegas Golden Knights sled hockey team.
Whoa. Wait, what's that?
Basically, for amputees and paraplegics and everything, you have hockey, but then they put other people that are disabled in sleds, and then there's professional teams that do that. And the majority of the people that are on the Las Vegas Golden Knights sled hockey team are either patients or employees of ours.
Wow.
It's a
That's
beautiful thing.
incredible. I didn't even know about that. I want to Google it now and go and see it in action.
Oh yeah, you'd be able to see all my guys out there on the ice, a few of our patients out there too, and it's amazing watching them and just seeing them get that energy. And they're professional athletes, just like Michael Jordan, just like Antonio Brown. These are professional athletes. They just happen to have a disability or a handicap that they will not let these handicaps take over their life. They basically look at head on and say, you know what, we're going to do whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Well, and it's almost an analogy to what you did, because you started life in a way with a handicap, with a disablement, in the situation that you were put in with drugs and abuse and homelessness at times. Yep. And it wasn't a fast transformation by any means. And people will see that in the book, but you didn't let it stop you.
Oh, you can never let anything stop you. I was living on park benches, sitting down next to someone saying, you know what, I'm going to be a millionaire someday. People would laugh there. They would laugh at me hysterically. Oh yeah, sure. You don't even have a change of clothes and you're going to be a millionaire. And I always put it in my mind. And the money's just one thing, having a family that's happy, a beautiful family. There's so many different ways of being rich in life. And the best riches they're not financial. They're not monetary. The best riches in the world are seeing your child smile, seeing your wife gleam when you do something nice for her. Yeah. Those are the beautiful things. And once you start paying it forward like that and doing nice things for everyone that good things happen to you. And the other thing is, while you're on your ascent to greatness, take as many people up with you as you can, because those people are going to respect, and they're going to blow you out of the ballpark of what they can do as well. And you can't do it alone. Even with a company, a corporation, you're only as strong as your weakest links and stuff. So everyone in my company is compassionate. Everyone that's in my life, we're all compassionate people. We care about the world. We care about people, whether it be in my hobby with the fish tanks. I'm big into the coral reef.
Right.
Yeah. The coral reefs, everyone around the world that does that, these people are helping learn how to breed corals, get them to spawn so they can try to regenerate the reefs of the world. They're doing so many beautiful things out there. I'm blown away. Like the gentleman who just, Jamie out of England, just became Aquarius of the Year because he's learning how to spawn corals. And he's going to make a difference in this world. And it's beautiful, whether it be from my hobby to my profession to all aspects of life. We just want to make a difference. We just want to see people do better and just the world become a better place.
Yeah. Don't focus on the bad, find the good and make it, propagate it. Try to make the good more, make it better, make it grow, just like the corals.
Exactly. Propagate it just like the corals. You can start off with just one little gesture and blossom into just someone doing amazing things for so many people. And that's what I'm hoping this book does. Yeah, I'm hoping that a child gets a hold of this book and they say, you know what? I'm not going to give up. This guy didn't give up. And look, I'm married to the most beautiful woman I've ever met. I've got a handsome son that's amazing. I got a beautiful daughter that's going to do great things too. The world that I'm trying to leave behind once I'm long gone is going to be better than the one that I came into. And I'm going to make sure to that because of the people, the people that I've end up helping out or my family members and everything. So when I close my eyes at night, I want to know that I'm making a difference. I'm like Steve Jobs once said, putting a ding in this world. That's how I like it. I want to leave a ding in this world.
A positive ding. I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
So for someone who is listening and thinking about writing a book, yours is very much around your story. It's almost like a memoir or like a set of journal entries to really retell incredible stories throughout your life and show the transformation. But you've injected a lot of advice and inspiration too for someone reading it to think, okay, how can I take this and apply it to my own life too? But what I would love to ask is, what advice would you have for someone if they're sitting there thinking, oh, should I share my story? Is it good enough? Should I bother? Who will read it? What are those questions that go through people's minds?
that's them with self-doubt. Everyone's story is good enough to hear. Everyone's story is their own beautiful creation of who they've become, whether it be spiritual stories, whether it be, hey, I did this. It could be the most wild stories in the world. That's your story, and it's a beautiful thing. And the world all deserves to have an option to hear it. You know what I mean? Like this story that I've done right now, I'm scared to death. I open up my deepest, Pandora's box is nothing compared to what I open up in this book. Oh my gosh, I talk about my most embarrassing moments. I talk about everything from abuse, drugs, gangs, everything from, there's stuff about, like there's so many different things that I've had to see or deal with throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want people to know they're not alone. And their story's a beautiful thing as well. If they share that with the world's a better place. Everyone being open and honest about who they really are. I opened up about things that, people are like, are you crazy? You need to take that out of your book.
Mm-hmm.
But why? So many things from domestic violence on down that we grew up watching and that is kind of thrust upon us. We don't realize that we're being wired as children to do the similar things that what our parents have done, and for us, we need to own that and admit it. I've made so many mistakes in my life, but you know what? I don't even consider them mistakes anymore, because as long as you use them as learning experiences and don't do the exact same thing over and over again, it wasn't a mistake. It was part of your self-growth. It was a part of you becoming a better version of yourself. So I've made a lot of choices that have taken me in directions that I didn't want to go. I went from being a virgin that no one knew about. I just wanted to find one girl, be in love for the rest of my life, to turning into a nightclub promoter and becoming a Don Juan. Then I looked in the mirror and I'm like, this isn't the life I want. The drugs, the drinking, the partying, that's not who I wanted to be. I haven't been to a nightclub in 8 years, and I don't care to ever go back to one.
Mm-hmm.
I lived that life. My life now consists of my family, my friends. I actually have one of reef tanks. Actually, in my book, if any of you read my book, the gentleman that's with me at my house right now is David in the book. He brought me to Las Vegas when I AWOL'd from a boys' home when we were 13 years old. Here we are, 45 years old, sitting here, and we're going to go catch a movie after this interview. And that's what life's about.
45 for only 2 more days, because we're recording this just a few days before it goes live on Cyber Monday, your birthday, your 46th birthday, where the book is live.
Oh my gosh. Man, thank you so much, Laura. Yeah, 46 years old, but that's what you got to remember too. The people that were there for you when you were down and out and stuff are the ones that are going to still be there for you later on in life. When I met David, I had nothing. I was in a boys' home, and he still befriended me, even though I couldn't go out at night, couldn't do anything. When I met my wife, everyone's going to see her and they're going to be like, oh, trophy wife. No, my wife, when we met, I had to borrow $500 to marry her. We eloped to Hawaii, and I had to have someone, my friend Ashley, Western Union me $500 so I could pay for the wedding. She took a risk on me, and that's something that I will never forget. I've never cheated. I don't lie. I don't steal. I did enough lying and stealing when I was younger, taking back stolen merchandise from my parents, or
forced to.
Yeah, forced
Caveat,
to. Yeah, just to be able to feed ourselves, and then when I lived with my biological father, he was a paranoid schizophrenic. So he told me I was Jesus Christ at a young age. So damn, I had some broad shoulders. I try to carry the world on my shoulders to this day. I don't know if it's something that he kind of subliminally pointed in my head, but it's something I'm still trying to do. I'm trying to save the world one person at a time.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what I really appreciate about your book is in your being so honest and laying it all out there, the good, bad, the ugly, and everything in between. It shows people who are going through or have gone through similar things that it's possible to take those and turn it into something better, take it and learn from it. And I think sometimes people sweep the bad under the rug, and they're just like, you can be great too, but they never actually talk about the tough part to show the transformation that occurred. So I appreciate that about your book.
Thank you. There's so many people that are doing inspirational speaking. I'm not saying any names or anything, but just being a nightclub promoter, the things that you heard about a lot of these guys and everything else, they basically are putting on a portrait. They're saying, this is who I am. And it's total opposite of who they are. Me, I'm showing you exactly who I am. If someone's on my friends list on Facebook, they see my everyday life consists of my family, my patients, my fish tanks. That's what it's all about. And I'm happy. I'm content with that. We travel the world. We've been all around the world. That's something that people need to realize too. One of the number one things I learned from my patients, you ask them, they're older now, they've got physical disabilities. You ask them, what if there's one thing you could change in your life, what would it be? Almost 90% of them will say, you know what, I wish I would have traveled when I was younger. You can't take it with you. Enjoy life while you're young. You keep on putting that money away, building up your nest egg, your retirement and everything else, which is going to be a beautiful thing, but you also have to enjoy life now because it's going to pass you by. If you don't enjoy life while you're living it, there's nothing left. There's nothing left.
I 100% agree with that. I just got back from Australia and New Zealand, which is a place that you've been to and you wrote about in the book as well. So you talk about world travel. I 100% agree with you. I think that it's such a growth opportunity and it's so fun too. It's just like a spice of life.
Oh, most definitely. We just got back from Cuba last week even, and that was an eye-opening experience.
Yeah.
We went to Haiti, we went to Cuba.
What's one thing that you saw that you didn't expect that stood out?
Oh, well, with Cuba, it was a lot dirtier than what I had envisioned, but it was beautiful. The cars were beautiful. The people were really nice. My wife and I enjoyed it there. It's just a lot of these countries, it's not, you have to be prepared. It's not all clean, fresh streets. You go to Rome and they're cobblestone streets. And if you wanted to try to drive out there, I wish you luck.
Yeah.
Give me a cab any day of the week. There's no way I'm driving. You go to Tijuana and there's no street signs or lights sometimes. And you're swerving in and out. And you're like, how did I not just get broadsided there?
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, do some research too. Just enjoy it. Know what you're going to do. Plot out what you want to do there. There's beautiful places in the United States to go to, in Canada, Mexico. Just enjoy it. If you can't afford to go, say, to Europe or Australia, go to Mexico somewhere. Go to Canada. Go to somewhere in America. Go to the Grand Canyon. There's so many beautiful places to experience that don't even cost much money, but just get those life experiences, my friends.
I agree. What would you say, going kind of back to the book, what would you say you've learned about yourself or about the world or your family or whatever by doing the book, by actually writing the book?
Well, a few things I've learned about the book. You're not going to make everyone happy. That's one thing I'm going to let you know. With how raw my book is, I've been disowned by family members because I'm letting my family's deepest, darkest secrets out there. But at the same time, if it makes a difference in a child, those family members aren't seeing this for what this is. This is to try to make a difference in other people's lives, not the people that are deceased and I shouldn't be saying what they did while they were alive. Those people did what they did and they are all deceased because of it. You know what? Let's make a difference in the people that are still alive's lives. We can't make a difference, turn back the clock and say, Mom, don't stick that needle in your arm. We can't say, Dad, you take the meds for your paranoid schizophrenia. You can't force people to do different things. But the next generation, the people that are going to be reading this book or listening to it someday or reading it on their phone, they're going to realize, be real with people. Just do what you believe in. Put your whole heart into anything you do, and good things will happen. With me, when I started my company, I never went to high school. That's something that people would want to know. I went for a couple months my freshman year. I went for a month my sophomore year. I never went to high school, but I had a lot of street smarts. Education's very important. If not for my street smarts, I wouldn't be where I am today. And being very lucky. I had a lot of lucky breaks along the way. I got grandfathered into getting a 4-year degree. They didn't have enough people doing prosthetics and orthotics once upon a time. It was a one-time shot, and I got my 4-year degree from it.
Without even actually going to 4 years of college?
Nope. No college. I went and got my GED for my high school education. I got my 4-year degree because I became an ABC certified orthotist, which you have to have like 4-year degree from like Northwestern, a few other schools, Pittsburgh. There's a few schools in the United States that do it, but I got the equivalent to what these people that have been paying 4 years of college did. That doesn't happen anymore. I had everything fall into place for me once upon a time and made the best of it. We're all given opportunities in life. My opportunity was getting into prosthetics and orthotics at $7 an hour, being called the monkey in the back. I was making $16 an hour as a painter here in town. My first wife divorced me over taking the job in prosthetics and orthotics. She told me I would never amount to anything, that I'm a monkey like they said, and she basically tore me down. I was living on someone's floor right after that, going to and from work, taking city buses. So any of you that are taking buses and don't have a vehicle, I didn't have my driver's license till I was almost 22 years old. I had never learned how to drive a car until I was almost that age. Mm-hmm. I never had a father to show me how to go fishing. A funny story that wasn't in the book. My coworker Lee, that got me into prosthetics and orthotics, he took me fishing once, and I tried to tie the worm around the hook. And
I couldn't tie the worm in a knot.
Yeah, because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know that you're supposed to stick stick it through the worm. So I'm like thinking that's inhumane. So I'm trying to tie a knot with the worm around the hook. And that was my first foray into fishing when I was in my mid-20s. I'd never went fishing in my life. That was a story that wasn't in there. There's so many stories that I left out of there because I kept it PG-13. You're going to read the book if you do, and you're going to say, that's PG-13. Honest to God, that's PG-13. We cut out a lot. Lori, you know how much we cut out of there too, and everything else. We kept it to where it's real, it's raw, but at the same time, we don't want to scare people. And
in some ways, it might be on some people's level rated R in some people's worlds, but it gets rough and real in there.
Yeah, it is. That's what life was, though. Yeah. Rough and real. Those are two words that's a good depiction of it. Yeah. Life was rough and real, but we made the best of it that we could. My sister was here for Thanksgiving last night. I've talked to my brother today. It's a beautiful life that we're living, and let's just make a difference for everyone else. That's what I just want people to understand. Mm-hmm. And I believe it wholeheartely. You can see I'm transparent in everything I do. You're going to know that I'm telling you the truth. If I'm telling you something, know it. You can write it down. Know that it's going to be true, because I don't believe in lying. I hate thieves. I just want to see people do better. We're also starting another company called Inspiration All. My wife's starting that one, and it's going to be inspirational boxes and everything else, different bracelets, shirts, and we're trying to spread the gift of joy and happiness, and with that, we're going to hire on people that are underprivileged, that can't find real jobs, to get them off of Section 8, off of welfare, give them a job like doing boxes, and then we're going to have little bios about them and showing that we're helping them. And then part of the proceeds, we're going to start a nonprofit for amputees of Las Vegas that can't afford their prosthetics, to try to be able to help them with that too. So we'll have a nonprofit attached to it. We're going to be doing inspirational things. So you'll see people wearing shirts with inspirational quotes, and it's just spreading goodwill, and, just trying to make the world better. Like I said, one person at a time. For my wife, maybe one T-shirt at a time. Yeah. You never know.
I love that. I can't wait to see more as that develops, because I know that's still in the works, but we'll put links out in the show notes so that when it's live and ready, and any time someone listens to this in the future, they'll be able to go back and see how they can participate too.
Thank you so much, Laura.
Oh, my pleasure. One last little line of questions. How long did you think about writing a book before you actually did?
I started writing the book about 4 years ago. I got about a third of the way done, put it to the side. And my friend, who's actually an author himself, his name's James Whitaker. He wrote Think and Grow Rich, The Legacy. He's an amazing guy. We used to hang out when I was a nightclub promoter a lot back in the day. And he told me, hey, mate, he's from Australia. He's like, hey, mate, you need to finish your book. And then that's when he got you and I connected. And then it was just like almost destined. Jimmy Pop, Colson, Laura, copy that, Pops. And without your help, I wouldn't have had it go to fruition. So if any of you are procrastinating and, doing part of your book, get a hold of Laura here. I'm telling you, she helped turn something that was just basically something I started as just basically a cleansing of the soul, and turned it into print. And it's something that I thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me with.
Oh, it's been my absolute pleasure. And it's so cool how things can happen with mutual connections and networking, which I always preach on this podcast, because I met James at the premiere of the film for Think and Grow Rich, and he's the author behind the accompanying book for it. And I met him and at his time fiance, who's now his wife, and we just hit it off and kept in touch, and both realized we're nerds for writing. And so I came to mind when you reached out and was like, I need help. So it's just amazing how that can come together.
Oh yes. You know, life always gives you those dots. You just have to connect them. We're always presented with the opportunity for greatness. And like I said, people's greatness might be different. Someone's greatness might be raising their children to the best of their ability, and those children are going to change the world. You know, you never know. You're given the keys to try to do great things. Someone's greatness, like I said, might be just being the best parent they possibly can be. They put their heart and soul into their children. Another one's greatness might be just taking care of people to the best of their ability, not caring about the money or financial. Like in my book, Nora Belcher, her name was we called her Sister. She died at 70-some years old, a virgin. She took care of my mom and 2 of her siblings, then took care of my sister and myself. She gave her whole life for taking care of everyone else. And she was basically an angel put on earth. She did so much for so many and never got any recognition, never got any I love yous or anything. And I wouldn't be where I am today without her. You're going to read in my book that my grandmother was horrible to us when we were young, but she was my savior towards the end. People change, people grow. I despised my grandmother at a young age, and towards the end, she was my hero, and I believe she's my guardian angel, my family's guardian angel. That lady did a 180 and helped me change my life by taking me in from a boys' home. If I'd have been put back in California Youth Affiliate, I would have died. I would have been selling drugs. I would have done something wrong. I was given an opportunity. I seized it and made the most of it that I could. I was given the opportunity to get in prosthetics and orthotics at $7 an hour. So many people meet me and they think I was born with a silver spoon or, you know, the way I carry myself. They're like, oh, well, you know, you must have came from money or anything. No, I taught it all to myself. We weren't taught manners. We never sat at tables. I didn't know what fork to use. I didn't know any of that stuff. You know, you basically learn as you go, and you fake it till you make it too. You do the best that you can with whatever you're doing until you learn what to really do. So that's one piece of advice too. Never turn down an opportunity. If you don't know what you're going to do with that, read up on it, do it. Those opportunities are few and far between, and when they're presented to you, you take them and you make the most of it.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm thinking about how we all can apply that to business specifically too. What advice would you have for people? Because you started with an $11,700 loan.
Yeah.
And what was the age how old were you when you got that loan and started your company?
I was 30 years old. I had just turned 30. This was back in 2004. I got offered a partnership with another company in town the year before when I was 29. They wanted me to give them $40-some thousand for a 14% share, but that wasn't just the $40,000. I was still going to be paying them premiums because they value the company at a couple $1 million. So it was going to be a lot more than that over the long haul. They tried to basically take advantage of me because I was younger. I talked to a friend named Dave here in Vegas that has his own prosthetic and orthotic company. He's actually retiring this year. He said, kid, you're articulate. You know what you're doing. People seem to like you. Start your own company. And then that's when I got the offer for half and half on the company with a $30,000 loan. After we paid for their lawyers, the signage, everything else, it was only $11,700. I had to hustle. I had to clean offices. I had to do other things that you're going to read about in the book. Yeah. I'm not going to say those right now. You got to read that part. I did a lot of stuff that I'm not too proud of, but it got me to where I am today. Without doing things the way that I did them, I would not be sitting here being able to make the difference in these younger people's lives that I'm hoping to. I've been contacted by high schools already, one college. They want me to do talks. They want me to reach out to people that are underprivileged or people that there's a high school here in town that a lot of the people are recovering drug addicts that are in high school. I'm going to go there and I'm going to let them know, you know what? I did drugs. I was raised by drug addicts. I think that you can do things. I know that you're going to do great things. Just put your mind, focus your mind, put all your ability into what you want to do, and you're going to do great things. These people, this next generation, everyone says that they're so lost. They know so much more than we did. Oh my gosh. I can't even figure out how to get on this call with you. And then I got my daughter and she's doing programming on computers at 6 years old. I don't even know. She's telling me about doing this stuff. And I'm like, wow, every generation, we don't give the next generation the credit they deserve.
Mm.
We all say, oh, they're lazy. They said that about us. I'm sure that their parents said that about the baby boomers and so on and so forth. Just realize this is a beautiful journey that we're all taking. Let's support the next generation. Tell them how wonderful they are. Tell them how smart they are. Tell them how much of a difference they can make. Maybe we could save the oceans. Maybe we could save the rainforests. Maybe we can make a difference for the next generation if they take the bull by the horns, because our generation, we've dropped the ball. You know what I mean? We've let the oceans die.
Mm-hmm.
We've cut down all the rainforests. We don't believe in anything's going on in this world. There's so much going on in this world. I'm hoping that the next generation takes the baton and turns it around from what we didn't do, what our parents didn't do. The last few generations, we've let this world go to hell in a handbasket.
Mm.
Let's make a difference. Let's let our children make a difference. Teach them about the beauties of the ocean. Teach them about the beauties here on land, the rainforest, all the different animals that live there. Start using different materials that that are going to help be environmentally safe. There's so many differences, so many subtle differences that if each and every one of us did them, we're going to make a difference in this world.
Did you know that I'm vegan?
No, I didn't, but that's beautiful.
And part of that is because of the environment. If you watch some of these documentaries, like the number one polluter of the planet is not actually transportation, it's agriculture. So, and the slashing and the burning of the rainforest, it's for your hamburgers and at McDonald's. So and the
runoff going into the ocean.
Yeah, exactly. It's all connected. So I also am very passionate about that, although I haven't talked about it too much on the show, but I agree with you.
I give you a big thumbs up for that one. I kind of like my turkey dinner last night. I thought about doing some kind of vegan type thing, like just eating maybe a little, not vegan, but maybe some kind of vegetarian.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't give up the meat. I can't. I'm being honest with you, and definitely can't give up my sushi. And that's my addiction. You put sushi in front of me, and it's over. I'm gonna toast it all.
I'll have to make some vegan sushi and see if you can even know the difference.
Some tofu, you can get it tasting pretty good.
Seriously, the other day I was out to dinner with a group of business buddies, and we were at like a steakhouse kind of a place, and they had jackfruit pulled pork. So it wasn't actually pork. It was made from jackfruit. I don't know if you've ever had that, but when they put the sauce on it, I almost wanted to go back in the kitchen and say, Chef, are you sure this is not meat? Because it tastes like
jackfruit pulled pork.
Jackfruit. I actually have jackfruit here in my house. I don't usually make it with barbecue sauce because I don't like to do like sugary stuff either. But I make jackfruit at home, and I could trick anyone. It seems like it's meat, but it's a fruit. Yeah.
Maybe it's a time for the Colson family to make a difference.
Yeah.
Make a change.
I'll make you some and bring it over.
All right. And we'll grub it up. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Maybe we could even get Liliana to try it.
Oh yeah. Just the best thing is don't tell anyone. And if they love it, be like, that's actually not meat. Did you know? And they're like, what? Because people think they couldn't survive eating vegan, but you totally can. So
yeah, look, you're thriving doing it, right?
No, I'm not dying of lack of protein. Do I look like I'm dying?
You look healthy. I look like I eat meat.
That's so funny. We'll have to do a round 2 interview. We can just nerd out about food.
Let's nerd out about food, movies, music.
Yeah.
We'll have another nerd out session here soon because nerds are actually cool people. I
agree. I am a self-proclaimed proud nerd.
Me too. I'm about the biggest dork that you're ever going to meet. My wife's like, she met me. I was a nightclub promoter. I was bigger than life. And then now she's married to me. All I do is take care of my fish tanks and do things like that. And she's like, man, yeah, I didn't know I was marrying that big of a dork, but she's happy about it because I don't go out doing anything bad.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't drink much at all, so just living the best life I possibly can.
That's amazing. Well, we should wrap it up because we got to go back to promoting your book because it is now live Cyber Monday today.
Oh my gosh, yes.
As people are listening, happy birthday, Jimmy, and happy number one bestseller because that's 100%. That's 100%.
Number one 100% happening bestseller?
100%. So if people go to copythepops.com/Jimmy, it'll redirect them over to the book and they will see number ones all over the place. I know it. I'm calling it. It's a few days early, but I'm calling it.
You're calling it's going to be a #1 bestseller all over the place, huh?
All over the place. People are going to have their minds blown.
And I'm always open to talk to whoever wants to give me a call, schedule an interview.
Yeah.
I got more to share with the world. The book was just portions, just like like Laura said, it's just memoirs, just little tidbits of little different journeys and different trials and tribulations to change someone's life, and that's what I want to do. And for whoever's listening to this right now, you can change your life. You can do beautiful things in this world. Just believe in yourself. We believe in you, right, Laura?
We do.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for your time, Jimmy. Let's get back to promoting this book. And if people are listening, please go and buy it and support it and reach out to Jimmy for interviews and inspiration and all the things.
Thank you very much. Have a beautiful and blessed day, my friend.
Thanks, Jimmy. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.